Whenever you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 4 of my historical account of the Northern Ireland Civil Rights Association. Brian Faulkner and his cabinet were not able to deal with the deteriorating security situation, certainly after the events of Bloody Sunday. The British Prime Minister Edward Heath decided it was time for his government in Westminster and London to get involved. But rather than making things better, the introduction of internment had made them much worse, and the events of Bloody Sunday indicated to the London government that Prime Minister Brian Faulkner and his cabinet were not really able to deal with the deteriorating security situation. Brian Faulkner responded to recent events by asking the British government for permission to bring back the peace specials and to allow the RUC to carry guns. The government in London refused to agree and instead asked the Northern Ireland government to give up its power over law and order. Faulkner rejected this request and London decided to take control of things. In late March 1972, the British government announced that it was taking control of security in Northern Ireland, appointing a member of the British government to take care of the running of Northern Ireland, going to gradually end internment, planning to hold a vote or referendum on whether or not there should be a border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic, going to talk to Northern Ireland's politicians to see if a government made up of members of all parties could be set up. It's going to talk, so losing control over security was too much for the Stormont government, and so all members decided to resign in protest. The British Prime Minister Edward Heath then announced that he was going to close the Northern Ireland government and Parliament down, at first for 1 year, although this was later extended, and start running Northern Ireland directly from London, and this became known as Direct Rail. And Heath appointed William Whitelaw as Northern Ireland's first Secretary of State. So what was the end of Stormont? What were the reactions? The closing down of the Northern Ireland Parliament led to the following reactions. The Irish government and the SDLP were delighted. They saw the end of Stormont as providing the opportunity of a new start for Northern Ireland. While the IRA welcomed the end of Stormont, it was less than happy at the appointment of a Secretary of State. It saw Direct Rail as evidence of even greater British involvement in the running of Northern Ireland and announced its determination to continue its struggle to achieve a united Ireland. Unionist leaders were outraged at the closing down of their parliament. Massive protests were organised by Ulster Vanguard, but the London government continued with its plans. There was also an increase in support for loyalist paramilitaries and a spate of sectarian killings. Meanwhile, support for the Democratic Unionist Party, led by the Reverend Ian Paisley, and other strongly unionist parties also increased. The Northern Ireland Civil Rights Association stated that its campaign for civil rights would continue. Just on a final note, 1972 was certainly the blackest year of Northern Ireland's troubles. If the London government hoped to make things better by closing Stormont down, it was to be disappointed. There were more violent deaths in 1972 than there were during any other year of the Troubles. Nearly 500 people died in 1972, including 9 people on the 21st of July 1972 as a result of provisional IRA bombs in Belfast, and this day became known as Bloody Friday. 9 people on the 31st of July when provisional IRA bombs exploded in the village of Claudy, County Derry, and of course 13 innocent civilians shot dead by the British Army in Derry on Bloody Sunday in January 1972. Folks, I'm going to leave it there. There's still so much more to go through. I have emailed Laura John a book list for, suggested further reading or information that'll fill in the gaps. and John said he would send it out to members of the society. Thoroughly enjoyed doing this. Thank you very much.